Good morning and welcome to Sailing Yabá. My name is Ben and together with MP we have been rebuilding this boat for the past 3 and a bit years and we're getting very close to launching. It's a very nice day which I want to make the most of, so without further ado I'm going to get into it. Just before leaving yesterday we finished placing this anchor support which I would like to finish today. We were just missing some counterplates, some washers, and to just tighten it all again. Also the chain plates have been placed on the port side over there and fastened. However, these have been placed but not fastened yet, and that's a job that I also want to tackle today. Once those two are done, I think I'm going to start cleaning up all that wood down there, push it all over to the side and start working on the bowsprit. That's the only piece of the boat that's not been painted yet, and I would like to at least get a layer of paint on so I can start adding the bobstay. Thank you for telling me what that is called. The bobstay is the stainless steel wire that pulls the bowsprit down because it gets pulled up a lot with the furling systems and the mast. I'm going to get going, I'm going to get working. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos, and I will do my best, and Loic, NMP and everyone else to get this boat ready for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. We are very happy that this is in place and we're happy with how firm it is, except we didn't have any washers. So now we're just going to remove one screw, put Seeker under again, add the washer and fasten it. And then we're also going to put the slightly bigger counter washers underneath where the wood is and add a washer on top. If we're lucky, we can even try and just lift the anchor manually, even though we don't have the anchor chain box yet, and then have one anchor up here already, and then we can talk about anchors, maybe tell you what our plan is, what anchors we have, which ones we don't want to use, and so on. Last two threaded bars going in, the through bolts. So all I have to do is go into this cozy area now and tighten it from down there. We don't want to tighten it from up here too much because we might be pulling the thread back up the bar. And now this way we can assure that we're really just tightening the nut underneath. We had them all done and then I realized that we forgot the pressure washer, so I undid one and put the pressure washer in, and now Loic is taken over from that little corner. And how's it going? Comfortable?
Yeah, super comfy.
Anyway, it's also really good we're doing this because soon we're going to get the anchor chain box and then we won't have access to all of this, so anything that has to be done in front of it is good to do now.
That's not gonna move, guys.
Hello everyone! Another day, another chance to make our dream come true. We are really in this final stretch that's making us very excited and also very tired, but we are really enjoying the process, which is, I think, the most important part. And we're getting somewhere, which is even more important. Anyway, you know where I am, and I believe that I'll be stuck to electric still for a couple of more days because we still have a couple more things that we have to do. So while Ben is outside enjoying the sun, doing stuff that required sun that we couldn't do on the previous week, I'm gonna still be here to finish installing, well, Cerbo. We have to find a nice place for it, put it in place, and then start bringing all the wires to it. And also I want to install the Orion that we will use to charge this battery bank with the 12-volt alternator. So that's also something I want to do. Okay, our Orion is connected now. The output going to the links, because that will go to the battery and charge the battery, with the input, which will be our 12-volt alternator of the engine and the starter battery. I cannot talk anymore.
Before we get into it, just check out what Nico's doing over here. That was something we were going to do when we were on the crib, where the supports wouldn't get in the way with the hand planer, except we just want to leave it ready so that when we move the crib it's just anti-fouling. Loic and I were so focused on getting these chain plates ready and these plugs in here that we didn't notice that the camera turned off because of the heat. Sometimes after using the camera, I don't know, for a specific amount of time, it just gives us a warning sign and just flicks off. So we got you a little bit of the time lapsing of this. However, I came here to show you the final product. So it's just the same as the other side. We've just Sikaflexed the tops, not the bottoms, in case water does get in. Plugs are in. I actually need to sand them down and varnish these. This is literally really cool because we have all the chain plates in place for the main mast. So the main mast can technically already be attached to this and stand tall and strong. I know that chain plates are usually done with through bolts or like a threaded bar going all the way through and fastened on the other side. I completely understand that because on a thinner hull, for example, the hull might be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, and you'll need a threaded bar with a counterplate on the other side to make it strong enough. However, if you think of the length of one of those through bars or through bolts, it's going to be what, 2-3 centimeters? Here we've got a 6, 7 or even 8 centimeter long lug screw, which in my opinion compensates for, as it's so long, it compensates for not having a nut and a counterplate on the other side. Also, if you think about it, the force is slightly inwards, or inwards, not slightly, very inwards and very upwards. So very unlikely is it going to be pulled outwards. Also, it's sandwiched in place. You see how tough it already was to get in here without the screws. In our case, on this wooden boat, this, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to do it. So it's all sealed, fastened. This is not going to go anywhere. 3 massive lug screws. You still have the chain plates to do on the bow. And then I've already started talking with a guy who'll come and check out for the shrouds and the stays, come and see if the ones we have are okay. If not, replace them. And if they're good, he'll just shorten them to the size we need, because this is slightly higher than it used to be, and then fasten them in place. That's going to be so cool. A few things I want to mention about the mast, of things that are definitely to-dos at least. The shrouds are definitely something I want to do like ASAP, but there are some things I want to do in the water to get the masts ready. First things first, I would like to have a ladder between these two shrouds so I can climb up at least most of the way with harness, of course. Secondly, the spreaders. I've been up there a few times and those spreaders don't look too good. The spreaders in our case are not fastened to the shrouds. I don't even know what they're for. I'll have to find that out one day, but I would like to keep them as they are, but replace them. But that's definitely something I want to do. Get in a good comfy bosun's chair, or even get a ladder or a crane lift while I'm next door. We'll figure that out soon, but there are still some things I want to do on here. I also want to sand both masts down. It's happened before, but we did it way too early. And when they're sanded down, give them a good clean and what do you call it? Settle oil them, so they'll look nice and red, dark red brownish. Very, very nice wood. And then we've got to fasten all those stainless steel rings on it to fasten the boom on the main mast. We've got to fasten the furling system on the foremast. We've got to put some mast lights in there as well. So there's a lot more to do. Either way, I just wanted to come here to give you the wrap that didn't ever happen on the camera that was there, to say that we have all the chain plates in place for the main mast.
I'm just an old man counting the days till I can see you again. If you've been watching the whole time, you should know.
We have now the Orion connected to our starter battery that is also connected to our 12-volt alternator, and that's here in the input through, well, this is a fuse, but it will be a fuse. For now, this is what we have just for testing. And the output is connected to the links because the idea is to bring power from that alternator to here, our lithium battery bank. The cool thing about the Orion, it comes with this remote control. It comes like in this package in the box. Without this, it is not on, it's completely off. But the whole idea is, let me see if you can see there. You see this wiring? The idea is to make this be connected to our switch, our key of the engine, so it only works when the ignition is on for the engine, so it will never be emptying our starter battery if the engine is not running, if that made sense. So this is super cool. This very small thing really makes the difference here in the system. So I think I'm gonna give power and then add this and then see what happens. I can already see on the app that the input voltage is 12.3 volts and the output is null, is 0. Probably because it's off. It even says output is disabled due to remote input inactive, because I have it right here. How cool, the whole information right here. Input now is 12.2 and output is 26.3. Please show. That means it is working, but I don't want it to work for too long because I don't want to deplete my started battery because I really need it. But it was just to test if the whole connection was working. This is super good. The Orion is now off, which makes me very relieved because I really didn't want to continue spending that battery. And I think having this in place and all that's missing is a little support here so we can have our display, so you can see all the information coming from the Cerbo, and then I believe our Victron part of the electricity will be ready. Then we just need to continue with other electrical bits like wake speed, VHF, navigation lights. Some things are still missing before splashing. And with this, I'm almost smelling water. Can you smell it as well? Another step closer.
Another day has come to an end. I think we've got very good progress on these chain plates over here, but what was even cooler is that we have the anchor support over at the bow. I think that is something that is super cool. Like, it's completely in place right now, and I wanted to test it, but I think to be fair, to test it tomorrow when everyone's here and actually have some hands to help pull up the anchor might be quite handy. Also, it gave me good hope having these on the boat. It kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like once it's fastened. And Pete also did loads inside. I'm going to give the camera to her, but big thank you from me for tuning into this episode. It means a lot. You put a smile on our faces, you keep us motivated. And then Pete we're off grid now, aren't we?
Well, kind of. I usually like ending an episode with a victory. Today I managed to install half of the Orion connection, so it's not really a victory yet, but it will be a victory eventually. So let's just think about that good bit of it.
It's not a victory, but it's a Victron. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot. Bye.